Hello and welcome. This is Hax. In this video, I'm going to show you guys how to build a melon and or pumpkin farm. Yeah, I know there's already a ton of melon and pumpkin farms out on YouTube, but I didn't really find anyone that's quite like this. And just like anything else, it's different kinds of builds for different kind of builders and for different purposes. If you are the kind of builder that or you have the needs of just having a few melons or pumpkins around because you like jack-o'-lanterns, whatever, then keep driving through. This is not the build for you. On the other hand, if you do like melons and pumpkins, you want tons of them and maybe to sell them to villagers or whatnot, then this is the build for you. This thing has 285 melon stems in it just on one layer. It is 11 blocks wide by about 60 blocks deep, but it doesn't have to be as deep as that. If you don't want it to be, it can be just one, but this is pretty much as wide as it will get without getting too complicated. The basic principle behind it is pretty simple. It uses this slime block sweeper. The sweeper is not entirely my design. This was actually taken from Exuma in his wither skeleton farm, and I modified the redstone just a little bit so that it will work for this. But the density with all the melon stems here is really compact compared to a lot of other ones, and compared to a lot of other ones, there's not one piston for every single block that could possibly spawn, which you'll find a lot of. We just have two pistons that run across, and that makes it pretty easy to build, even though it's fairly large and fairly light on resources for the amount of drops that you will get out of this. As you can see right here, not completely 100% lossless, but for the most part, most of them do actually stay in there. We have some hopper minecarts underneath here that will run back and forth and pick it up. Now, what you're looking at here is a little bit deceptive because all the redstone is actually underneath and underground, which I think makes it look a lot better, and it also makes it much easier for you to stack these on top of each other. But one layer here will give you about 12 stacks worth of drops every hour. Here I only have pumpkins because the pumpkins only drop one every time you break them, where the melon slices will drop anywhere between 3 and 7. So it's 12 stacks of melons, or about 60 stacks of, 12 stacks of pumpkins, or 60 stacks of melon slices if you plant melon slices here. And of course you can plant both of them in one layer if you'd like. But if we take a look underneath here, this is the heart of that, what makes it build, or what makes it run. Not really too bad, I don't think. It's just a little bit of redstone, and then of course you can stack it without having to recreate all of this. But let's go ahead and let's see how to build this thing. Okay, because the farm can be built at varying sizes, we're going to go ahead and start in the middle. So dig down 2, place a torch there, and then a block on top of that. And then run the redstone down until it fades. There, put a block up and a torch on that, and then do the same thing going the other way. Put a torch on that, and it should be something like that. Now 9 spaces over, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Do the same thing, 2 down, a torch this time on the side of that block, on the inside there. Block on top of that. We can get rid of these. And then redstone dust going all the way down. These should line up to the other blocks. There we go. Now this is temporary just so that we can get our spacing, but we'll go ahead and power that torch on the side here and then run this down until it fades. Right about here, there you go. And then we're going to mark this with 9 blocks. Let's see, from right here, so you can see we're lined up here, so this is on the inside, and these are the 9 blocks on the inside there. And then do the exact same thing on the opposite side. Okay, down on the first wall that we built, come down to the end here, a couple extra blocks out, and then fill these in with hoppers going into the line like this. Then grab some pumpkins, some jack-o'-lanterns, and then come in 3 blocks and 3 blocks like this. So 3 blocks from the side and 3 blocks in like this. And then 5 spaces between these, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then same thing here, and then repeat this, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And do this going all the way down to the end. Okay, with that done, come over to the side over here and bring out this 2 blocks like this, skip a block on the ground, and then start digging down until we are 3 blocks underneath the surface like this. Then take these 2 blocks and dig in like this, and then dig these all the way down with some torches. And keep digging until you reach the place where we first dug our redstone torches. Oh, here it is, okay. And we're just gonna light this up a little bit, and 2 additional blocks going this way. Okay, and then coming out from this wall, we should dig this way and find the other redstone torch. Oh, that we just broke. Okay, put that back. And again, 2 more blocks this way. Go ahead and light this up. And then come over 10 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then we should be able to dig this way and find our first tunnel. There we go. And then carve all of this out. So take some regular pistons, 2 blocks in from the torch there, and place a piston like that. A block underneath it, a block on its face, and we need some transparent blocks. So transparent block, regular block, transparent block like this. And then take a regular piston, put it with 1 space gap like this. And we're going to take some more solid blocks and do a 2x4 arrangement like this, and repeaters going like this, and redstone dust behind it. Okay. Then we're going to knock this out a little bit. Alright, and a block from the ceiling with a torch on its side. We're going to need some slabs. Okay. And then we want to have a slab going in like that, and then some solid blocks in this kind of arrangement. Now we could take some dust with behind these 2 blocks, so that's our 2 repeaters over here, and run that into that torch there. Then we take dust on top here and go like this. Now we can take a solid block and put it underneath there. We'll get back to that in a second. On our original arrangement of 2x4 here, add in a block here, redstone dust there, a repeater going in there on 2 ticks, and when we're all done, we're going to add a torch on here, but not yet. So now grab some comparators, place a comparator going into there, a hopper going into each other like this, comparator facing out of there with the block in front of it, torch on its side, repeater, solid block, oops, that's a torch, and a repeater going into that block again and out of the torch into a solid block here, and a torch there, that's our Snorlatch. And then take 2.5 stacks of any item, put it in there. Okay, that's our timer. So now we can come back up this way. Alright, on these 2 additional blocks that we added, redstone dust there, we're going to power that just so we can get our distances, and run redstone dust all the way down until it fades. Oh, there it is. Okay, dig that one out, grab a sticky piston. There we go. and a solid block on its front, on its top. Repeater set to 3 delay. I'm going to run this all the way into here, and then we're going to block that off, so that'll make this one extend. We can also, let's put that back for good lighting. I'm going to dig this one in just a little bit. Let's see where we're at. There we go. And then run that line into there. Okay, we're down on the other side, but in the same direction. So we added the tunnel over there. We're going to add in 2 blocks just like on the other side. Redstone dust on top and power it, and then dig down just like before until we have a space for 2. Dig in and keep digging until we get to our little room down here. There it is. And we'll add some lighting. Okay, take our dust, run it all the way down until it fades. There it is. Again, block on its face. Repeater, 3 ticks of delay. Let's put this back. And then redstone dust going all the way into here. Now we're going to go ahead and power this just so we have the right distance here. There we go. So take another repeater to keep that one going. Dig 2 down like this. And redstone dust going up and into there. Another repeater, set it on 2 delay, and run that one into that block there. Okay, now we're going to build our rail system. Put a powered rail on top of the hoppers, a regular rail, and another powered rail. Let's put a powered redstone block there with another powered rail there. And then bring this out 8 more, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Break this one out, another redstone block, 2 powered rails, and basically repeat this entire thing going all the way down, and then do it for every row except for the middle one. We're going to leave the middle one empty for right now. But again, it's just 2 powered rails and then 8, which should line you up with the pumpkins so that your redstone block is 1 block right after the pumpkins, like this. The reason why we left the center one empty is because we want to make supports for our water blocks that are going to water the stem blocks above. So, and to do that, we're going to use slime blocks. So, not counting the very end pieces, count over 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then put a slime block on the 5th, and then a sign on top of that. And then from here, it's every 8 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And so that gives you 8 blocks of dirt in between the 2, right? Sign on top of that. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 on here. Sign on top of that. And then do that going all the way down. And at the end, you're going to have a slime block that's closer, and I'll show that in a minute. And also, between all of these, doesn't really have to be, but having all powered rails in the middle, I think, helps a lot. So we're going to do something like that. And on this one, we will need a redstone block to power that line, but all the rest of them should fill out into the end. So at the end, you should have something that's kind of like this. So that goes over a little bit, and that's fine. So then we're going to add in some solid blocks on top of the powered rails here. I use that button for testing, don't need it. Okay, and the same thing on the other side, put solid blocks on top of the powered rails. And then all along here goes all of our dirt. Just make sure to leave a space around our signs like this. and then fill this in going all the way down. Okay, now all that's filled in, we're going to come along the side here and place any kind of solid block on top here so that we can place jack-o'-lanterns like this, going all the way down, and then same thing for the other side, like this, jack-o'-lanterns going all the way down. Okay, with all of our pumpkins in place, go ahead and place the water into here. Be very, very careful to not misplace the water, because if it goes over, it's going to end up clearing out a bunch of tracks underneath, and that would be really bad. But once these are all filled in, then we're going to go ahead and come along the side and till in all of these. We want to go under the pumpkins here, skip a block here, here where our water is, skip a block, and then again underneath the pumpkins like this, and going all the way down. And once you're done with that, go ahead and plant in your melon seeds, pumpkin seeds, whatever kind of seeds that you want. I recommend doing this as early as possible so that they have a chance to grow. Okay, so now we can come over here, break these out for a bit, and place in our hopper minecarts on top of each one of these. Doesn't really matter what side because they'll get reset. And then replace these blocks on top. Oops, there we go. And then place redstone dust behind those. And then that should link up with the redstone dust that we have here going into our tunnel. And then we want to put some solid blocks on top of all of these. There we go, like this. And then do the same thing to the other side. But of course we don't want to have the minecarts. So the minecarts should only be on one side like this. And also it looks like I forgot some jack-o'-lanterns here. These should be all up on the sides. Okay, with all that done, on the sides it has our tunnels. Gonna take a repeater, going into that block on 2 ticks of delay. Same thing on the other side. Then we're going to take some glass, come down over here on the side, and then place glass all along here to prevent the drops from flying out. When it comes over to the torch, we want to make that a solid block, and then glass all the way down like this. Again, solid block there. Okay, and again we want to have a repeater going into that block on 2 ticks of delay. And then do the same thing with the other side minus the repeaters. Repeaters are only on this side. I'm going to take a redstone block, and anywhere along this track is fine. Replace redstone block there. Solid block, solid block, solid block. With slime blocks all on top. Like this. And then we want to take a sticky piston, go there. Another sticky piston, go here. Facing into that. There we go. And then we can take some redstone dust and place it all on top of our jack-o'-lanterns here and on the other side. Now on the sides we can place a torch on top of our blocks on the side here. Solid block on top of it. Knock out that piece of redstone dust and put a torch on its side like this. And do that for all 4 spaces. Okay, there's just a couple things I missed. So we want to come around to this block right here where the redstone dust comes from this side and place a repeater on 2 ticks of delay there. And then come around to this side over here, and this redstone dust here should not be connecting there, so we're just going to place a solid block there so it goes straight into that one. And I also think I left a redstone block over here. We want to make sure that that gets removed as well. But with everything there, oh yes, and these repeaters, want to make sure that the 2 repeaters on the inside are set to 3 ticks of delay, and the outside repeaters here are on default delay. And then the last thing to do is to take a redstone torch and put it right on top there. And that should be it working. If we come over top. go. And when it gets to the end, we should see it stop. There we go. And it'll just sit there until the hopper timer runs out, and then I'll make its way to the other end. Well, that's all I have for you today, guys. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comments section. Thanks for watching. This has been Hacks. I'll see you later.